Well, good morning and welcome to Coffee with the Coach.
Good morning, Tony. How are you?
I am well. And yourself?
I'm doing fabulous.
Today is August 3rd, 2021. And we're here with Coach Milou, Dr. Milou. And I'm Tony DeGuida. And we're going to be talking about motivation today. So, Dr. Milou, tell me, what motivates you?
What motivates me, Tony, is looking at the background you are sitting, and which is fabulous. It's outdoor, and as you know, the temperature is fantastic today in St. Louis.
Is it real or is it virtual?
It is real, and that's why I'm not living in the virtual world anymore. I'm looking at you, and that's what inspires me, that gives me motivation. There is a life out there, and the life is fabulous.
And you're absolutely right. And we have to find the things that stimulate the motivation inside of you, because that's where motivation comes from, correct? It comes from inside.
Yes, internal motivation.
You always hear about companies and businesses trying to motivate their employees. But the motivation is different for everyone. And this is my motivation, to be in nature, to be able to clear my mind. And fishing is one of those things that allows me to do that, when I can actually think of that present moment and that lure that's in the water that might be attracting a fish, and just to think of nothing else. Clears my mind and helps me to refresh myself, motivate. And then the things that allow me to enjoy this experience are the things that I am motivated to do, because I want to get back here as often as I can. So we all have to find our motivation, our internal motivations that drive us forward. And to do the things that we seek to do. How do you recommend people try to find their motivations, Dr. Milou?
Okay, people don't have to find the motivation. They have the motivation. And
How so?
There is no recommendation on this. The motivation that they just need to nurture it and practice it. And it is what we call the intrinsic motivation, which is very powerful. And intrinsic motivation is a drive that comes purely from within. Okay, so if your motivation is from within, it's automatic. You just need to nurture it, and you need to realize it, that we have that. And just practicing that motivation, just like you are doing today, Tony. You are sitting on a beautiful beachfront property, which is a lakefront property, where you are looking at the beauty of nature. It is given. The beauty of nature is given, and you don't have to have money to enjoy that. You know, we have public parks. People can go there and enjoy the beauty of nature. It is given to every single human being, including all animals around the world, can enjoy the beauty of nature given by our Creator. And that's what we need to practice more, enjoying what we have and celebrating life.
This is true. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the news, which is not necessarily good these days. But the news is never good, because bad news sells. So you're better off turning off the news, getting your information that you need to proceed in your life, but don't let the news distract you or stop you from doing the things that you need to do. The news can be very depressing to people. And I heard a story the other day of a friend who actually went to the Ozarks with their daughter, and they rented a place, and they were afraid to leave the building because of the news, and because the Missouri is one of those places that COVID is supposedly blowing up in and expanding, but they let it stop them, demotivate them from doing the things they were wanting to enjoy. So in these times when other sources are coming into our world and telling you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, how do you continue to maintain the motivation?
Yes. So as I said before, and just connecting that with that conversation, Tony, is we are driven by two types of motivation. One is external motivation. The other one is internal motivation, which is called, which is pushes us to go and get our goals achieved. External motivation, which is imposed to us externally. That's what the word I would use, impose. Means it is a pressure from outside. Internal motivation, on the other hand, is a build up energy from inside. So the two words I just used, one is pressure, the other one is energy. So energy comes from within and pressure comes from outside. And our goal, and in Vino and Vision coaching, we do that all the time, is centric. Our center is you. Our center is you. So when I say that you, the coachee, we are the coach, and our focus is the coachee who is sitting in front of us or who is on the Zoom session with us. And that's the person we center our focus. And the reason we center that focus is because you are the one who's going to make your life beautiful. Just for a second, imagine the background that you are sitting and the view that you are right now witnessing. And if you want to go and own that view, how much money you have to invest to create that view for yourself? Just imagine that. It is impossible. This is done by our Creator. You cannot create this view yourself.
This is free to everyone.
This is free. That's why they say best thing in life are free. We just don't understand those best thing in life. What we look for is that external motivators. If I have a huge mansion, I'll be happy. If I have the big yard, I'll be happy. If I make millions of dollars in the stock market, I'll be happy. So those are the external motivators that continue to make me motivated.
Until many times you achieve those dreams and you realize that it doesn't give you happiness.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's the essence of all coaching that we are doing, is to bring the holistic happiness to you. And the way you become holistically happy when you are peace within. And in our Vino and Vision, we are using mindfulness meditation and a lot of mindfulness meditation practices to open the mind to understand you, understand your within and internal powers. And internal powers are fabulous, because when you are internally happy, you are happy and you don't have to have $1 in your wallet. You can go enjoy this nature, you can have fun, you can live a life that you want to live the way you want to live, because it was given to you. And if you go back to thousands of years in the past, you will see that our ancestors, they live a very competitive life in the wild, where all the natural gifts was given to them, and they wanted to go and find food. So what is the motivation for food? Just think about that for a second.
Hunger.
Hunger.
It's from within.
From within. So you are hungry and you want to go get food. And the competitive nature of us come from that drive. The first motivation that we get is the basic need, which is food. So at that time, thousands of years ago, the basic motivation concept is, I need food. I need to go out there and kill an animal. That was our ancestors' goal all day long. We thought about how to effectively kill a beast so we can have a feast. And that
kill a beast to have a feast.
Exactly. And that's what drove our competitive mindset of, and also innovative mindset at the same time. Just think about that. How do we perfect our tools to kill a beast? And all this innovation that we come up to now, and living in a nature that is fabulous. You have in an extreme cold, you have a very nice warm home. We innovated things to make us comfortable, make us better. And kill a beast was a better way of putting it. Is how did we do that? We became effective. Now we don't even have to go to a jungle to kill a beast. We can go to a grocery store and buy that fabulous piece of meat or fabulous piece of fish and bring it home and cook it, or go to a restaurant and enjoy the meal. We became very good at meeting our need through innovation and through the internal motivation that motivated us to go out there and perform our best.
No doubt. No doubt. And I guess hunger is a good example of the internal motivation that drives you. And to the point of what you do at Vino and Vision in working with the individual, is what I have found is that you sit and learn and try to help the individual clear away all of the things that are in their daily life to get down to the basics of what their desires are and what their personal needs are, because we're beyond, most of us, I should say, are beyond the point of food, clothing, and shelter. There are a lot of homeless people out there that we can help, but most of us are able to provide those three sources. And some of the challenges that the economy has been stressful for a lot of people, that possibly being able to deliver on those things hasn't been what it used to be. So that motivation, whether you need to provide better housing, more food on the table, that should be part of the motivations that move you forward. But how do you go beyond those basic motivations?
So Maslow's hierarchy of need is clearly states on how our needs continue to grow. Mm-hmm. So as a human being, we follow that need pyramid. Is, just imagine, so we have the basic need of food. Well, we now have the beast killed, and now we have that feast going, and we just finished the food. What is the next need we have?
Utensils.
Well, just imagine what our ancestors did after having a big feast. They built that big fire, right? Their basic need is met. They got the food. What are they doing after the food? Just
gotta cook the food.
Well, the food is already gone. They ate the food, cooked the food, and now they have to build the fire, the leftover fire, and they put some more wood in that fire. What are they looking for after the food is eaten?
Warmth and rest.
Oh no, I don't think our ancestors rested after the eating dinner.
What did they do?
Well, they danced around the fire until the wee hours
They
of night.
celebrated.
They celebrated, exactly. They celebrated, and there was the vino. And they had a vino that they created for themselves to enjoy that moment to a level that they drank the vino, did the party, and then slept outside next to the fire. They just had so much fun. So the need for fun was after the basic need was met. Right?
How does that fit on Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yes, it fits perfectly in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As you know, it goes from the basic needs all the way to self-actualization. And in self-actualization, what we do, that now we know that all our needs are met, and now we have to give something to the world. When the legacy project come in, like for example, we will be looking at some of those example of going to the space. And you have seen the example recently that, you have the rocket that went up and came down in 10 minutes. You had the joy of being on the outer space for the first time as a private sector.
You can take a 10-minute ride for $10 billion.
Of course you can, if you are looking for that need in your life. Was that a necessity? No. So the difference between the necessity and what we want to achieve is different. So I was having a coaching session and we were discussing about BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. And a BHAG is from where you are to where you want to be. The difference is that is a big, hairy, and audacious goal. If you set your goal to that and you look at the goal and say it's so big and it's so hairy and it's so audacious, I will never achieve it. But that's the key of a big, hairy, audacious goal. And we were talking about Nike's BHAG in the 60s was to defeat Adidas. And we are also looking at another BHAG from Honda back in the 60s or 70s to destroy the company. I think is called, I'm forgetting the name of the company. That's pretty good because they did not become that famous.
Datsun?
No, it's not. Datsun is I believe is Yamaha or something.
Nissan. Like Nissan is Datsun.
No, not the Nike's. Honda's goal was so to defeat a company that we cannot even remember now, because at that time they were pretty good, and they do the motorcycles, and I'm trying to think about their name. But the essence of that, having a BHAG that big, is the BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. And if you have that intrinsic motivation, if you decide that this is what I'm going to do, and you drive yourself, an example of that would be gymnasium, for example. So I have multiple clients who own gymnasiums. And as you are aware of that, is going to the gymnasium, and especially during COVID, and now COVID is in a different angle, but going to the gymnasium, keeping yourself motivated to achieve the health goal that you set. Example of that would be January. You have the numbers go up significantly because everybody will have a New Year's goal, New Year's resolution, that I am going to lose that many pounds, whatever that number is. And we are motivated to go sign up. We sign up. And then in February, we see a drop in numbers of enrollment because people then are not motivated because other things in life intervene our mind, which is now we see the donut, now we see the fabulous food, now we see the movie and popcorn, the beer included or any drinks included that is like full of sugar. Now we see that and we say, well, maybe the gymnasium can wait for another day. I can just enjoy it today.
Maybe the Super Bowl has been the downfall of the gymnasium.
Well, Super Bowl has multiple effects, both positive, and the other one is how it drives your motivation. But main thing is the motivation is the barrier that creates between us and the things that we want to achieve in life, including exercise. So if you are not motivated to go to the gymnasium, what do? Just think about that for a second, Tony. What do you do if you're not motivated to go exercise?
Well, you can do it in your house, but if you're not motivated at all, you're probably sitting on the couch watching TV.
Of course, you're probably sitting on the couch watching TV and you have the exercise bike behind you.
You're letting the motivation come to you instead of you going and pursuing.
Exactly. And at the same time, maybe the exercise bike sitting behind you idle, or it is in your basement, have not been used, or maybe still in the box that you have not opened it up for a long time. And it happened to people, and I can challenge you. You can go to some friend's house and they can show you they have the exercise bike they have not used for a long time.
So we're coming to the end of our show a little here, but my question to you is, if people have lost their motivation, if they've let the news of the day push them back to sit on their couch and just continue to consume more of it, and not do the things that would fulfill their needs, what advice do you have for them?
Okay, it's not, as coaches, we don't provide advice. We help people to achieve their goals. So one of the examples I will give you is, just think about this. We talked about today about the internal motivation, which is the most powerful motivation that we have. So we have to connect with our internal. And like, for example, in Vino and Vision, we are doing mindfulness meditation practices to quiet your external voices and just focus on being and enjoying that moment. And to do that, you have to practice. And it is not only about, practice about you. It's also think about in a business, you have to practice what you preach. And you have to practice that over and over again. It's never easy. Going to the gym is never easy because you have to motivate yourself to go there. But if you go there, you will have a fabulous time. And when you practice it over and over again, you continue to gain very good health. And similar thing of anything in life, a practice makes you perfect. You have to be internally motivated to say, well, I'm going to do that.
Well, and I think the gym is a good example of somebody who knows the challenges that everyone has to get back into the gym. So they offer a free trial. They offer a week free in the gym, see what it's like to get back to the person you want to be. What about your mindfulness and meditation, or your conversations with the coach? Is there a free trial where people could see what your mindfulness could help to experience themselves?
Yes, and we are, as I mentioned before, we are a big believer that we made up our own mind, right? And to do that, you will have to have some type of motivation to go and try it out. And once you try it out, you will make up your own mind. You will stay or you will leave. If you leave, you do not believe in continuing that motivation level to continue to build on it. So if you stay, and that's the example of the gym, and our Vino and Vision, we provide 1 month free for people to come and join and get to know all those. But those are there for you to utilize them in your life. Just like a gymnasium, if you sign up in January and drop off in February, you will not gain the health that you are looking for. You have to, it's a continuous process of practice. And the practice makes you perfect. The more you use it, the better you become. And the more you go to the gymnasium, and we did last year during COVID time, we did cycling and coaching. And we had from Cycle Bar Cliff Core and Cycle Bar Richmond Height, we broadcasted cycling and coaching every month. And we showed people that how fascinating and how fun it is to go to gymnasium where there is music and there is motivation, there is people who are engaged, and a lot of good things. You have a social aspect of it. It's much better than sitting in the couch at home. So if that is what practice looked like, I would be definitely interested to do that. So creating a motivation for yourself and practicing it on a regular basis. You don't start a journey and stop in the middle of it. You have to continue to go so you achieve that. And it is about all goals in life. If you set a goal, if you don't walk towards it, you will stop. And when you stop, it stops. Your goal stops, your achievement stops, and that BHAG we just talked about, big, hairy, audacious goal, never achieved. Because what happens? You stopped. So in your internal motivation factors, you need to, and that's why coaching comes so handy for people, because many people need coaches. Like, in fact, everybody needs coaches, and the coaches keeps you on track of achieving your goal. You just have to go on a regular basis and understand that I need to be, my mind need to be on my goal. And if I do that, I will achieve it. There is, people are going to space. They have achieved it by focusing on, we're going to do that. So simple thing. And we talked about internal motivation, and we talked about simple pleasures in life and happiness. These are all simple things if we just follow and if we just lead ourselves to that destination. And that's what Vino and Vision is doing for you. We have coaches, we have a VIP group where you can come and try it out and enjoy the benefits of life that is given to you.
If you have any more curiosity about Vino and Vision, go online, check out vinoandvision.com. That's spelled out A-N-D, Vino and Vision.
And vinoandvisionglobal.com.
Vinoandvisionglobal.com, because they are now global in multiple countries. So check it out, and we will be back here on Tuesday the 17th at 9 a.m. to continue our conversation about motivation.
Fantastic. Enjoy your day and enjoy the beautiful nature outside that is given to you. Have fun and be motivated.
I will do that. And you too. Everyone, find your motivations and move them forward.